Good morning, lovely students. Here, let's begin with Chapter 7 Diversity in Living Organism, Part 2, Class 9, Subject Science. In Part 1, we discuss about the organism classification, which was further classified as prokaryotic and eukaryotes. So, today we will go ahead with this classification. Now, in this chapter, we are going to learn major five kingdoms. They are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. So, these are the major five kingdoms in which our living organisms are classified. Let's start talking about them one by one. First kingdom is Monera. So Monera is one-celled organism. Cells have no membrane around the nucleus, reproduce by splitting into two. Examples are amoeba and paramecium. They show binary fission. You know that from one amoeba, two daughter amoeba cells are formed. You have already studied about this in class 7. That is the binary fission. Reproduce by splitting into two, absorb nutrients from the outside in their bodies, that is called the diffusion. That is, they will take the nutrients which is available in their surroundings from higher concentration to the lower concentration by the process of diffusion. Some monorams cause disease, but others are helpful for people. Examples are certain bacteria and anabina. Second major kingdom is Protista. So how the Protista look like? You can see in the image the figure of paramecium and amoeba. Most are one cells but some have many cells. So generally Protista are multicellular or unicellular. One cell Protista is called the unicellular Protista. Examples are amoeba. Cells have membranes around the nucleus. That means nuclear membrane is present. Some get nutrients and energy by eating other organisms. Some get energy from the sun and nutrients from the water around them. Most reproduce by splitting into two. Examples are paramecium and amoeba. Now, third kingdom is fungi. Now, fungi examples are yeast, mushroom, and rhizopus. Let me tell you, commercially bread and bakery items are produced or prepared using yeast as fermenter. Mushrooms are used as eating habit or eating purpose, and rhizopus is highly used to produce certain antibiotics. So major use of fungus is medicinal or with the food purposes. It is not always harmful. Heterotrophic eukaryotic organism. Now break the word heterotrophic. That means it depends on the other for the food because it is not having chlorophyll. Eukaryotic, that is having all cell organelles well defined. They are saprophytes. They take the food from dead and decaying or dead materials. Cell wall is made of chitin. Some of them live in the close relationship with the certain algae and plants, forming lichens and mycorrhizae. Now that is the symbiotic relationship. We have studied in our class that what is lichen? Lichen is the association of fungus with the algae. Here, fungus provides shelter to the algae and algae in return will provide food to the fungus. So this kind of association is known as symbiotic association. Some of them have ability to being multicellular, for example, yeast, mushroom and rhizopus. Let's talk about the plantae. Plantae includes multicellular organism except for some primitive. Primitive, that means very basic relative of algae. They are eukaryotes, that means they have all well-defined cell organelles. They have cell wall made up of cellulose. Nutrition of plant is autotrophic. Growth in the plant is generally indefinite and due to the presence of growing points. So here hormonal role is also there with the growth of plantae. Now we will see the further classification of plants. do not have differentiated plant body, that is Thellophyta, the first classification. And the plants which have differentiated part of body, they are further divided at without specialized vascular tissues, which are called the Bryophyta. Without specialized without specialized vascular tissues, they don't produce the seeds. They produce the seeds, that is Pteridophyta, and that is Phanerogamy. Now this Phanerogamy further divides into which bears the naked seeds and which bear the seeds inside the fruit. They are further classified as gymnosperm and angiosperms. Basic of division of kingdom Plantae. How you have divided kingdom Plantae? Number 1, differentiated body parts, like how their body parts look alike. Body is differentiated into leaves, stem, root, flowers. Presence of vascular tissues. There are two types of vascular tissues present in the plants. One is xylem and the phloem. Xylem help to transport food, water throughout the body, and phloem help in the translocation, that is transportation of food from leaves to the rest of the body part. Reproduction through the seeds and the spores. Now, Phanerogamy, the plants with seeds are called Phanerogamy. They contain embryo with stored food and they are always multicellular. Cryptogamy, the plants with spores are called Cryptogamy. They contain only naked embryo and are generally unicellular. Seeds are inside the fruit or naked. So first is angiosperm. These are the plants with seeds inside the fruit or they bear the flower. Gymnosperm, these are the plants with the naked seed and do not bear the flower. Let's talk about the division Thylophyta. The body of organism is not differentiated into organs, mainly aquatic and found in marine and the fresh water. Tissue for conduction of material for mechanical strength is absent. They are covered by mucilage, that is the protecting sheet. Reproduced by vegetative, asexual and sexual reproduction. Vegetative is only they get cut down and act as an individual organism. Asexual, that is the binary, or you can say a grafting, or only one parent is involved. Sexual, both gamete fusion is, or you can say here that is the ovum and pollen, both are involved. Algae are examples of such kind of divisions. Now let's talk about second division, Bryophyta. The plant body is differentiated into leaf, root and stem like structure. You can find three distinct parts. Special conducting tissues are not present, that means xylem and phloem. These are known as amphibians of plant kingdom. That means they can stay on the earth as well as below water. Reproductive organs or reproductive type is vegetative, asexual and sexual reproduction. Examples are Funaria, Riccia and Marchantia are the examples for Bryophyta. Let's talk about Pteridophyta. Plant body is differentiated into leaf, stem and roots. They also have conductive tissues. That means they do have xylem and phloem. All the above discussed plants types does not bear seeds. Instead, they bear spores. They are also known as cryptograms. They require water for the purpose of reproduction. Dryopteris, Marsillia and Selingella are the few examples of Pteridophyta kingdom. Further division. Let's talk about division Gymnosperm. They are most primitive and simple seed plants. These plants bear naked seed, means seeds are not enclosed by the fruit, but you can see them outside. These are perennial evergreen trees having woody trunk. They bear cones in which seeds are placed. Xylem lacks vessels and phloem lacks companion shell. That means special vascular bundles are present which are xylem and phloem, but xylem is present without vessel and phloem is not having the companion cells. They are divided into two groups, that is Scidae or Cycas, or Coniferae, that is Pinus and Cedrus. Let's talk about the angiosperms. They are highly evolved plants and they produce seeds that are enclosed within the fruits. These plants have flowers, hence they are called flowering plant also. Embryo in the seed has special structure called the cotyledons. You know what is the function of cotyledons? They store the food inside, which act as the seed leaves at the time of germination. They will provide the nutrients during germination or before the germination during dormancy period. They are divided into two groups, that is monocots and dicots. Now let's talk about the subdivision of angiosperm, that is dicotyledons or dicots. The seeds produced by this plant have embryo with two fleshy leaves called cotyledons. The leaves have reticulate venication. You know what is reticulate venication? The rotating venication that is not linear. With the network of veins, the root system has prominent taproot. So major root taproot is present. The flowers have 5 or multiple 5 petals. The vascular bundles are arranged in the ring structure. Examples are pea, potato, sunflower, etc. Let's talk about the monocots, which is the subdivision or monocotyledon. The seeds of this plants have only one cotyledon. Their leaves have parallel venation. They don't have the reticulate venation. The root system consists of similar fibrous root. They don't have taproot system. The flowers are trimerous. They have 3 or multiples of 3 petals. The vascular bundles are scattered and close. Examples are maize, wheat, rice and onion. So most important question is dicots and monocots difference. You have to learn this. Now, in our next video, we will talk about the Animalia group. But the second video, you will revise this kingdom till the monocots. I hope you have learned this, enjoyed this. Please go through it twice, thrice, and please mention all these slides as the notes form in your notebook. See you with the next video.